Hello, hello, welcome to another episode of playonultra podcast. This is episode 176.
Nice.
Yeah.
Woohoo. So yeah. Another month, I guess, so things
It's been a
happen, I
month.
hope. Things happen that doesn't But
The 2020 has us so down. We need to have like a especially jaunty intro where it's like, it's the, Play on Ultra podcast. Like, that's another month. And, here we are.
we're still here, still alive.
We're here. We're alive. All of us living.
Yeah.
That's good.
So for I'm pretty sure some of the listeners know that you're in a state that's currently on fire right now.
It's on fire.
The whole coast is on fire, yeah. And my state's the biggest state on the coast, so we got the most fire.
I forgot which late night show thing. I forgot which one it was. Oh, basically they like interviewed the lady that started the gender reveal things, and she's like,
oh my god.
Oh, no, sorry, the actual parties, right? Like the trend?
the trend, yeah.
Oh, not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
specific one.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
Yes,
her
she-
party was just like a cake or something that's pink or blue.
It was just a cake, and she put like pictures on Facebook and stuff. And the reason it's kind of ironic is she's actually speaking out against gender reveal parties right now. She's like, I didn't mean to cause this to a trend. It was just kind of a thing that I thought was cute with my family. And also, ironically, her child, who was assigned female at birth, now identifies, I believe, as gender fluid or non-binary.
Interesting.
Yep. So now she's very much like, yeah, I don't support these. It's interesting.
Not just for the gender stereotyping, but also the fires they cause.
The fires, yeah, because pyrotechnics.
I
for a gender
saw
reveal
like
party?
a compilation video of like crazy gender reveal parties. There are people on like 4-wheel drives shooting guns in the air. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
What?
I see
know.
a lot of litter. A lot of like glitter and like ticker tape type litter.
Yeah, glitters when I hear. The main one I hear is like cut into a cake. Like that's the main one I usually hear. So some of these crazy ones, my favorite thing is someone being like, cis people. Why does gender matter so much to you guys? Also cis people. Pyrotechnics gender reveal parties. Like, it's so
I thought it was a smoke machine. It wasn't a smoke machine.
Oh, maybe. I heard
could
it was
be.
pyrotechnics.
Because
but-
this is not the first gender reveal fire, right?
No, it wasn't. There was another one that happened like 2018. I don't know exactly how much damage it caused because I didn't hear about it. until
7,000
this happened.
acres or something.
Jeez, that is
It sounds like a big
7,000
number.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge number. That's a lot of acres. What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I don't really know how big an acre is, so.
It's pretty. I mean, it's a sizable amount of land. I mean, most houses do not sit on an acre of land. If you think like a suburban house, I don't know either. Like when I think of acres, I think of farmland. So I think of
Are
people
these,
saying,
like-
"Yeah, my house owns 5 acres."
Like government protected forests or something? Like because of like endangered wildlife or something?
A lot of it is probably government
Like a national
land.
park kind of
I
thing.
don't know if it's. Definitely some of it was like my favorite campsite, or not site, but like camp park was definitely kind of ravaged by this fire. Not like completely burned to the ground, but like took a lot of damage.
If it's
I don't know what
if a
percentage
land
of
is
fires
like
in
gazetted
parks.
as a national park, it's protected as something, right?
It's
my knowledge of
I
national
think
parks in the U.S.
building
all come from Parks and Rec.
protected- I don't know where it's protected from. I mean, I guess you can't build, you can't zone stuff there. You can't hunt. I don't know really what it's being protected with.
Yeah, I understood it meaning as it's nationally funded to exist, so that it's not like a private property. It's a national
Right.
government property. That's how
Right.
I understood that to mean.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I imagine you also like can't hunt in
Because
there
there
and
are
stuff like
state
that.
parks and there are like national parks. It's two
Yes.
different things.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
laws do you have on what's the word?
Fireworks?
No, like cutting down trees for wood. I can't think of the word right now.
Oh, lumber?
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
lumber industry. Like, can you go into
I've
the
never-
non-national park to just cut what the fuck you want? No, right?
So every time I've gone camping, which is it's not glamping because I do use a tent, but it is not hardcore because I do drive to my campsite. I don't go backpacking, so it is in like there's roads. Like here's your spot. In those places, you definitely can't cut anything down. You're not even supposed to like gather fallen stuff. Like, so I think in general, you're not supposed to cut down trees you don't own, just broadly. But I'm sure there's areas of the country where it's a little more wildernessy, where people don't care. And even if they did care, no one's going to notice or find you unless you're doing it at an industrial scale.
Yeah, exactly. Michigan, I feel like in certain areas, nobody, because we do have a lot of forests in like mid-Michigan area, because we do have that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if we actually really have rules on it, but I think it's a similar principle where it's like, if you do it for like a Christmas tree, you know, who's gonna notice?
Yeah,
in this country,
us,
there's
like,
a lot of corruption centered around this industry because it's a huge industry here.
Oh, really?
Lumber in general.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because you're kind of like rainforesty, right? So it's pretty dense trees.
Yeah, there's still lots of areas that's pretty dense, and pretty much the politicians are lining their pockets by letting people cut way too much, that kind of thing.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah, we never.
And the
hear
problem
about too
is a
much.
lot of indigenous tribes still live in those kind of areas.
Okay.
So
Yep,
they
that's-
become homeless
yeah.
and shit. They are a protected like people here.
Got it. Okay.
So we like protect them, but not really, that kind of thing. Like,
We know how that is.
yeah, I'm sure you do.
yeah.
So like, we can't talk shit about how you treat indigenous people because we do the same. Maybe not in the same like
The
scale.
scale is
of-
different. Yeah.
The scale
It's-
and like the cruelty is different. Like we don't force sterilize shit. I think I'm pretty sure we didn't.
yeah.
But like we don't really care about them.
Dude, I mean, I feel like, and this is so sad, but I feel like when we talk about indigenous groups, I mean, it's very much a lot of focuses in the United States for fair reasons. But you get into things like I'm learning with Malaysia. I know Canada, especially.
Oh, Canada's really bad.
Is really bad. They try to say they're
Canadians
not.
have no moral high ground to put over you guys.
No, they really don't. They have a better
that
president, and that's not. I don't know if it's a president, but anyway, they have a better leader, and that's about it.
Prime Minister? Yeah, leader.
The last
yeah.
known case of forced sterilization on on a native woman was like 2017 in Canada.
I'm not surprised. Only
Well,
So-
didn't it just come out that we're doing it right now? To like,
We're doing it in our ICE captives. Are the people who are
Yeah,
trying
some
to
kind of
immigrate
forced
here.
something, right?
Horse hysterectomies.
Yeah,
which
there was a
that
whistleblower or
basically-
something.
Yeah, there was a nurse who was kind of involved with that area, and she was told
only
by the
kind
women.
of involved.
I don't
Yeah,
get it. They're legal immigrants, but that don't. Oh,
No, we're
Jesus.
just evil. I mean, there's no way around it. It's we've devolved, and
Did
I mean,
any of you read that? So like a Facebook executive left Facebook, and instead of signing NDA,
So, like the secret clause.
yeah, because the NDA came with like a bunch of money, she didn't sign it, and she just kind of like told like BuzzFeed or something. You know, BuzzFeed has that real journalism site, right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So they did like this whole
I'm gonna-
huge article on it, and nobody gave a shit. Like, like
Oh,
all
actually,
the
I
all the
heard it
big
either.
all the big news sites didn't pick up on it. So
Wait,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
what story was she breaking? Just
so
Yeah.
like how
A variety
Facebook
of
just
evil
makes
Facebook
money.
stuff.
Yeah, how Facebook
Got
makes
it.
money out of like hate and like manipulating
Well, I mean,
politics
there
and
was
stuff like
that,
that. Elections.
my Facebook feed right now is kind of ironically blowing up with people watching the Social Experiment. I think it's called.
Really?
Is that what
Or-
it's called?
or-
It's some
or
documentary.
this- Oh, the documentary. Oh, okay. I don't know. I know there was a movie, the Social Network or something that was about. Okay, that's different.
This is a documentary about not Facebook specifically, but definitely.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
I saw a
Just
clip on that
algorithms
one.
in general, and how algorithms are created by companies, and so the algorithms are grown to be successful, where the definition of success is provided by these capitalistic companies. So they're super skewed and slanted.
Yeah.
And the clip that I saw was this like Silicon Valley IT type, the type. Oh, I'm sure. No, but you're like a grunt. You're still okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So he's
Yeah,
like,
really
high up there. He
I
makes
just
the
complicit.
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He was just saying some. I can't remember what the clip was, but he was just saying like some really dumbass things, and he used like a really bad analogy. I can't remember. I need to find that clip again. It was just put me off the whole thing. That 2-minute thing was like,
Analogies are so hard.
This one was really bad. Like you didn't need to like be told it was bad. It was just
Bad.
so yeah. 2020, I guess.
Walking a duck.
Oh, did you? Since we're talking about documentaries, you heard about that Cuties?
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
heard about it.
I haven't. So my Facebook friends are actually really divided about it. I haven't really looked into it myself. I've read some things about it, but I have Facebook friends that are very divided, and I think the problem is you have the obvious concern of you just hired a bunch of young children to do a whole documentary about sexualizing young children and sexualizing young children. You know, when are you trying to make a point that's going to be causing trauma to a group that you're filming, kind of thing? And on the flip side, you know, people who are, because the person who's directing it is a woman of color, and using her own personal experiences and stuff like that. And so it's interesting. To be completely honest with you, I haven't seen it, so I can't really, I think, form an informed opinion about it. But yeah, I've heard of it. It's causing tons of controversy for me.
I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, I have no
It's
desire to.
controversial.
Okay, so the name of the documentary is The Social Dilemma. That's the one you're thinking of.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the clip that I was
I
talking
haven't seen it
about
either.
is
I just
about a guy comparing tech to how no one got upset when bicycles showed up, and I'm like, what?
Come again?
Like talking about like how AI, she's comparing like AI to bicycles or something. Like it's just a really bad analogy. I'll share the clip
It reminds
with
me-
you guys later.
I used to work for a self-driving car company, and our CEO would love showing this Venn diagram. Have like, first we had horses and horse-drawn carriages, and then we had cars, and like there's a period of time where we had both. And I feel like now we're entering the period of time where we're going to have cars and self-driving cars. It's a new area of the Venn diagram. And I just liked it because it looked kind of like the way the graphic was rendered. It was very poor. It kind of just looked like you had like horses pulling self-driving cars. Like it was not well laid out graphic. Like I want to get behind this. Like I don't care what you're really trying to say. I want to do what it looks like you're trying to say.
I want a horse-drawn self-driving car.
Yeah, like a self-driving carriage. It's like a literal carriage. It'd be so cool.
Yes. Oh,
That's what he
that's
was
funny.
trying to do. He was trying to evoke the imagery of it, because like you have like these sensor pods in your self-driving cars. Like they're in the same places as like, the lanterns on like a carriage. It's like, oh man, like they're not. I mean, they're there for practical purposes. Like
There's a
don't, like,
game that I
retroactively
recently
make this
played called
thing.
NeoCab. Anybody heard of it?
I think I've heard about it from you.
So it's like
Maybe.
it was an iPhone game and then came out on like PC and Switch. It's like mostly a visual novel and you play like one of the last few like remaining human Uber driver type things.
Oh yeah. We have because I played the demo and I was interested in it. Yeah.
So yeah, they did
Yeah.
like they did have like this arc, or like they did talk about how like this monopoly and they're trying to get laws passed to make it illegal for humans to drive cars, and they know everything about you because they collect data and shit. And
Yeah, the main character, if I recall, has like a vendetta against that particular company
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So yeah.
basically the whole
Were you-
the main part of the game is like this company and what it's trying
Yeah.
to do. Like it's
I
obviously
remember-
like an evil,
Yeah.
Right. I remember reading a cool like cyberpunk short story once where this person gets in a cab to go to a location, and because of the location they picked, it's like that location is associated with like criminals or whatever. So we're just going to take you to the police instead. And I don't remember if this person was actually a criminal or not. I think they were, but so like they're locked into this self-driving car, and they end up like they have their cell phone, and they have prepared apparently like a drone that just carries like 4 to 6 cell phones, and they have that fly in front of the self-driving car. So the self-driving car detects 4 to 6 cell phones. So says, oh no, there's 4 to 6 people I'm going to hit. I only have one passenger. I'm going to drive off the bridge instead. And so it drives off the bridge and crashes, and then they escape from it because like that's how.
Wait,
it works.
What was
it's a
this?
movie or a short video or something?
A short story. It's a short story.
Oh, okay. Gee, that's crazy. Love how.
But that's the question we were always asked too when I worked there. It's like if like the trolley dilemma. It's like how do you solve the trolley dilemma? It's like it doesn't happen. Like it's never happened in the real world. Like like you shouldn't.
There's a reason why it's a philosophical question.
Yeah.
I think not by definition, but it's like it mostly doesn't happen in the real world, and it's mostly for discourse.
The real world's like it's hard to say what would happen. Like we can write the software to have certain values and rules, so we can loosely predict how it would happen in that kind of situation. But like, there's so many other factors in the world.
I mean,
like,
you should
like what would happen if you got to the stop sign at the exact same time as 3 other cars? It's like, oh, we'd be stuck. But it's like, that's not gonna happen. Someone's always gonna be slightly earlier or later than someone else.
I mean, I think it's okay to start the conversation with it, but not to base your fucking software on it. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's
it
maybe
definitely raises some interesting questions. Like, would your car ever run over a pedestrian? That kind of stuff. Like, what kind of decisions can your car make? Are definitely interesting questions. Anyway,
it's all that AI stuff. And I'm not even really against the concept of self-driving cars on principle, because people are dumb on the road. But I mean, but there's a line. I mean, there's a line we have to worry about, especially with AI.
I mean, I definitely want more self-driving taxis because I like being able to go into like cities and not worry about parking. But I don't think in my lifetime I'll ever not own a car or ever not want to own a car.
Same. I really believe so. It's a whole generational shift of ideals, right? Especially in the United States. I mean, that's especially in Michigan. Especially we have horrible public transportation, so that's not going to change anytime soon.
So
better than LA, but not great.
A lot of companies, like tech companies, smartphone companies, they use AI as like a hype marketing word now.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like blockchain.
Even on like software that helps the camera take better pictures. There's like apparently AI or something. But
yes,
I thought AI is defined by something that learns and becomes better over time or something.
So
not necessarily.
AI can really you can not incorrectly, in my opinion, use AI to describe any sort of reasonably advanced algorithm.
Got it.
That's a very subjective line. So what you're kind of talking about, though, is a specific type of algorithm called machine learning, which is where you set up some parameters. Like let's say if you wanted to do a machine learning thing to play QWOP, you'd say like here are the controls. You can hit Q, W, O, and P. The further you make it linearly, the better you've done. Go. And it'll just start hitting keys at random, and it'll learn like, oh, when I hit these keys in this order, I make it a little farther, and so it just does that, forever, and eventually it's figured out how to master QWOP, and that's machine learning. So the joke is being, if I just make random changes in my code until it works, it's hacky and bad programming. But if I do it 1,000 times per second, suddenly it's machine learning.
But isn't
got it?
So let's say like software that helps cameras take better pictures. It can be something like as simple as detecting how much light there is, and if there's little light, opening the shutter more. That's not really learning though. That's just like, if there's this amount of light, you open the shutter slightly bigger. It's feedback. It's reacting to what's getting.
It is very simple. You're right. I think it's still.
Is that considered machine learning still? Oh, okay.
It can be. I mean, again, it's like a simple and complex kind of thing, because like a lot of the more advanced and impressive machine learnings is you kind of have like you have like random mutations thrown in where it's like, okay, I'm gonna try opening the shutter a little more, and this other random thing, did it work, did it not work, okay, forget it. And sometimes you have like, all these things going in parallel, and then you take the two best ones and you just mix them and you try that, and so you get like this kind of like this generational evolution sort of thing that goes.
Because I think that's when I think of machine learning, is this idea of it's sending information back to almost like I think of like Siri or OK Google, where it's taking in user information constantly from everybody to better match, and then
so
you start.
As a consumer, I just want let's say my phone camera, I just want it to work as best as it can, and I don't want like just because I take less pictures in specific
You don't want
conditions.
to suck at the beginning. You want it to be better.
Not only that, just because let's say I'm not an avid user of a phone camera, like I don't really take pictures or whatever, right? I don't want my camera to be worse than another person who's using the exact same phone that takes more pictures just because I don't take the same amount of pictures. Like I bought this,
Yeah,
I
that's
paid
fair.
for the same price.
That's exactly how voice recognition works in your current devices. Like, the more you use voice recognition, the better it'll
The
recognize
better
your
it
voice,
gets.
your diction. So the less you use it, the worse it's going to be.
It's hard for me to use because it doesn't really recognize like non.
Yes, that's a huge
You know what I mean?
problem.
Yeah.
Is like, so that's the problem too. With these machine learning things, they're only as good as the parameters, those success conditions you program them for, and the data they're running on. So like,
Yeah,
if
what
I
they've
only
been
ran it,
normed.
if you only run that voice recognition on white people, or the camera,
Yeah.
it happened for the Kinect, right? The Kinect doesn't work as well with non-white people.
That's actually what happened with facial recognition software, it turns out. Some of the leading facial recognition softwares that they're using was only pretty much good for white men. And it was horrible for people
What
of
was
color,
it,
especially darker skin. And
I
so
was this, like,
I was in an
sitcom.
escape room once.
Say it again?
I was in an escape room, and they told us that, oh yeah, we used to have this last puzzle where you had to like talk to this table and do this thing, but we took it out of the escape room because the table was programmed by a team like in China, and so it only worked if you spoke in a super racist accent. I'm like, that's too funny. I'm sorry. It's horrible, but also hilarious.
it's horrible.
There's a pretty popular clip on YouTube of it's like a short clip of an actual sitcom or something. I think that's like this tech company. They installed like a sensor base in the toilets, in the bathrooms, to dispense like soap, and it's a light base.
Interesting.
They use a sensor to detect light, and the black people can't get any soap.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's a sitcom, and it was a pretty funny clip. I'm pretty sure some people know what I'm talking about.
Is it from Silicon Valley or something else?
And no, it's not Silicon Valley. It's like a lot of the main cast are like black people, I think. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
It's not Silicon Valley. I can't really stand Silicon Valley from just a few clips I watched.
I've never really tried to watch it. I like a lot of the people involved in it, but I don't know. It just seems too much. I don't know. Too like either the good jokes will be too real, I won't find them funny, or it'll be bad. Like there's no win for me.
It's a love it or hate it show, I
I've heard
guess.
it's
No
great.
middle ground.
Everyone, like a lot of people I know love it, so I should probably give it a shot. But man,
So yeah, what have you guys been doing?
God, not much. Let me be honest. Still pretty much going through 14. I mean, like I said, I think last time, my fiance and my brother all play in the room together with me. I've pretty much finished all the main story at this point, so I'm just kind of doing the grind that I pretty much hate, but I'm going through it. I'm going to probably be helping my brother through a section of it, so got all that getting that all taken care of. But it's still, it is what it is. The only other special thing I did was we only watched 3 episodes of it, but there's a documentary on Netflix called Level Up. It's a video game documentary series. It's only 6 episodes. I actually recommend it. I really do. I thought at first it was going to be like super cringy. It's cheesy. Let me put it that way. The way that because I guess it had really poor reviews because they didn't like the way it was shot. Because it is really cheesy how they have like the people they're talking to like do their shots and stuff like that. But what they talk about is really interesting, and they really also make a concerted effort to not just be talking to white people.
What's
for
it called again?
instance, Level Up.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix. Like I said, I only watched 3 episodes. Definitely just need to watch the other 3. I just keep forgetting to. But I really recommend it. It starts with like the beginning of video games, then gets into like the cause of the video game crash. They interview the guy who made E.T. the video game. They feel really bad for him.
High score.
You find out what happened. High score. I'm sorry. I thought it was level.
Wait, is it
yeah,
high score?
Is it?
Yeah, high score.
Should be. Okay, and then I think the third episode's my favorite because it talks about like RPGs and story games and text-based games, and so they kind of go through all those, and that's really cool. But like, for instance, I didn't know this, but like the first winner of one of the first video game competitions ever in the United States was by a trans woman. So that's really cool.
Was it like an arcade high score thing?
Yeah. It was with it was not Galaga. It was
Miss Pac-Man. Pac-Man.
Nope. Before that.
For that, Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. It was for Space Invaders. So that's really.
This was the documentary that got everybody like, oh wow, the first console or something was made by a black guy.
So the first, so it's not the first console. However, it's super important. He basically made the first cartridge. He invented the cartridge technology, and he has passed away. So they interview his son and daughter. About it. Yeah, he invented the first. Basically, he invented the cartridge technology that we use, and the original use for like SNES and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. They do, they interview all those people. It's like, and for instance,
that's
I didn't know
cool.
this either.
I can't believe I'm this old this year, whatever, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either until there was during Black History Month in February. It was going around. That's how I first learned about it. But like my fiance didn't know until we watched the show. And for me, that was definitely just 2020. I learned about it.
And we're not exactly we follow a lot of video game stuff and like.
Yeah, I know, and it's just not talked about. The first person to the first person to make a basically. Not just a text adventure, because that had been around for a while, but like a text adventure with graphics was basically started by a woman who didn't really have a lot of game design experience, but her husband did have coding experience, essentially. And so they made it together. It was called Murder House or something like that. And it basically uses all of those tropes of like a point-and-click adventure game. Just with, really interesting graphics. They interview the guy who wrote Ultima. Is that what it's called? Very long running, like pretty much the first RP. Yeah. Well, this is way before, like the first one, because it's a series. He was kind of the first one to, because he basically, I think you guys know this, but like JRPGs and RPGs basically took D&D concepts and just applied them straight to their video games. And he was the first one to do that. He was a D&D guy and just took it, and Final Fantasies followed suit. And all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's only the first 3 episodes. The last 3 I haven't watched. I know the 4th one's about Sonic versus Mario, I think. But I really enjoy it. It's pretty well done. It's cheesy, but I wouldn't say it's cringy. They really do a good job, talking to lots of different people and lots of different experiences. So I recommend it. I think...
Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix, yeah. I think that's really all I've done. We haven't really done a lot. We've been very exhausted, so it's been a lot of just kind of out of work, on the computer, go to sleep. However, Harley Quinn has a season 3 that was just announced today.
Still
so
haven't
that's
watched
exciting.
it yet. Shit. Need to watch Bad
Forgetting that's out.
Woman?
What is it?
Batwoman's a show that's
Batwoman, right?
on, yeah.
Batwoman, yeah. I saw
The first season is this person, second season is another person. That's the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that one. Yep. I saw the first 2 episodes. The writing is not that great, but it's fun. I never watched. It's kind of cheesy writing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's well done. I didn't watch actually a full first season. I only watched 2 episodes of it. It's fun, but the writing is a little ham-fisted, I found.
It's about at least the first season. The character is the one that's not really part of Wayne family or something. She uses guns and stuff, right? The one with the red bat symbol?
So it is her, but she is a cousin of Bruce Wayne. It actually is a plot point.
Oh, she is? Oh.
Yes.
I'm not sure who all the Batwomen are. The only one I know of was Gordon's daughter, right?
No, you're thinking of Batgirl.
She's Batgirl.
Okay. That's Batgirl. Okay. That's Babs.
Oracle.
Yeah.
Oracle, yeah.
Yep. This is Katie. She's gone by different names. It's like Katie Kane, Cassandra Kane. I think this one's Cassandra Kane.
Okay.
Yeah. But
she's the one that I remember watching an animated movie, and she was like she wanted revenge or something and she wasn't really part of
Yeah.
the Wayne family, and they took her in after that or something. And
Yeah.
teach her the ways of the bat.
Yep. They've done, I mean, Batwoman has gone through a million different iterations. If I recall correctly, her first one was literally just a love interest for Batman, but then they changed it. And so she
prefer
has
this one.
gone from like, yeah, exactly. She has gone from like being like a cousin to being completely separate. One defining characteristic they kept in this show that has been true to most of her comic iterations is she's gay. She's a lesbian. And she also, just like Batman, has trouble keeping up.
Honestly, I just wish they would make a Flashpoint Batman movie. Like, I will watch that.
There is a Flashpoint animated movie.
There is. That was really good.
Okay, because I've seen that one.
Like live action,
I mean.
Live action movie.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Because there was a Flashpoint animated one. I think I saw it.
Yeah, that was
Pretty
good.
decent. There's a lot of animated DC movies.
DC animated movies are really much better than Marvel ones.
Oh, for sure.
I actually saw the trailer for the new Batman. What's his name?
Oh, Rob Pattinson?
Yes. It actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah, I believed in him when I first heard him being cast.
I know he's a really good actor.
He is, yeah. I mean, at this point, whenever people get up in arms about an acting choice, I always have to roll my eyes.
Right.
Yeah, I always have to roll my eyes because every single time they eat crow. Like, I don't think people remember that Tony Stark as Robert Downey Jr. was heavily criticized.
People hated on Heath Ledger being Joker, and now everyone's
Yes,
like,
they
oh, he's
did.
like the best Joker.
They
Fuck Jack
did.
Nicholson.
Oh,
Jack Nicholson
it was-
sucks.
I didn't
They're
remember
two different
because I was
Jokers,
pretty...
okay?
Yeah, exactly. I was pretty young at the time, so I didn't realize there was the hate, but there was. I heard about it later, and I was like, oh. I remember when, just even recently, who was the other Batman before Rob Pattinson? Famous actor.
Christian Bale? Or
No.
Was it Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck, yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah. I remember, Ben Affleck is kind of a whatever actor. He can kind of do whatever. But people were criticizing that choice, and it was actually pretty decent. I'm not saying he's my favorite Batman. But...
You can't blame the actors for the writing.
The actor who plays Batman, isn't as big a factor as like 5 other things.
For sure. But yeah.
Maybe it's true for most movies. I don't know.
But yeah, Rob Pattinson, I believed him when I heard he was in it, so I'll be curious to see how that goes. Although I heard production's being paused.
I wonder if they should just
Production,
do
I think,
like
resumed, like yesterday.
get one actor to play Bruce Wayne, get another actor to play Batman.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be pretty funny.
That
Because
would be
like
interesting.
some actors are more suited for Bruce Wayne, some actors are more suited for Batman.
Christian Bale.
Have you seen that scene from the original Batman show with
Adam West?
from the Adam West, where I can't remember what the setup is, but for whatever reason, he has to be on the phone as Bruce Wayne and Batman at the same time, and so he's switching, and it's such good acting. Like
I bet.
I think I've seen that clip.
This is the scene that all Batman actors, prospective actors, should have to do before we cast them. They have to do this scene, and they have to nail it.
I am fine with this. Honestly, I want someone. Wait, I thought you were gonna say, and I know this is crazy and super controversial. I want someone to make a Batman movie, and Bruce Wayne and Batman are two different people, and we just don't know what's going
that'd be
on.
a good twist.
I wouldn't know what to do with it, but I just like the idea of just making people lose their minds.
So we're talking about DC stuff. Did you guys
DCW.
watch the 2 video game trailers? Do you know what I'm
I
talking
don't
about?
think I did. Which
So,
ones?
I think I know one of them.
I think it's the same studio that made all the Arkham games. What's it?
Okay.
Name? Rocksteady. So they showed off a new. It's not really Arkham. So like I think Batman's dead or Batman's no longer Batman, whatever, and you play as Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl. I was hoping for
interesting.
Batwoman. Maybe they should have just made 5 of them. Yeah, so you can play co-op and stuff.
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty sure it's using the same concept for the combat system, like
Oh, good.
read and react type. Probably a little bit better or something. Like Spider-Man used it and did a really good job of it.
Yeah.
But it looks really cool. Like they have. I'm guessing they all have like different abilities and different skills and stuff. It looks
Yeah.
pretty decent.
Because I mean, Arkham City you could play as Batman or Catwoman at different points, and they played
Yep.
fairly.
That was like a
different
DLC or
They
something,
did.
right?
Yeah.
No?
No, Catwoman was part of the main game. There was
okay.
like a DLC with Nightwing though.
Okay.
If I recall correctly. Yeah. There actually I think was a DLC with Batgirl even. So it's not super brand new. They
Yeah, it's
probably
not.
were able to put the
But I think
there
it's
was
the-
even DLC for her.
If I'm not mistaken, it's not part of the Arkham universe.
Oh, it's not. Interesting. 'Cause
It's
it
made
would
by the
make
same
sense-
people. It looks like the same.
Yeah.
But because I think they wanted to go a different direction, like Batman's no longer Batman or whatever. Like he's dead.
Well, I mean, I think Batman is dead by the end of the Arkham games. That's why I'm curious.
I actually never finished Arkham Knight. I should.
Really?
I have less than an hour left probably. I think I got to the final boss and just got kind of bored. The writing for it was bad, but visually it had some really cool story moments because like he's hallucinating the Joker.
Yep.
And there's this really great scene where he like jumps off of like this building and like falls through like poison ivy gas, and the Joker's just falling next to him, just like laughing. It's just this really cool moment. And I was
Yeah.
like, so the game.
Actually, Arkham Knight's a
more
really
hate than
good
it
game.
deserves. Yeah.
They're all mostly pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My least favorite would be Origins. I'd say. I didn't even get past that one
Yeah,
third of
I
it.
agree with that.
That one, the problem too is when it came out for PC. I don't know if you guys remember, but it a horrible port. They actually had to like
Arkham Knight too
redo
had
it.
so many really bad bugs,
Yeah.
but now it's mostly fixed.
So-
So it's a
Yeah,
really good
They're all
game.
pretty much fixed now, but the stain
And
never
I
left. especially
highly
with
recommend
Origins.
getting the version where you get all the costumes because it's just really cool to be playing all the
They're all
different
super cool.
different.
I
Yeah.
know they're so well done.
The other game seems like another like action co-op game, but you use a Suicide Squad trying to kill Superman because Superman's evil now.
That's a cool premise.
Ooh, okay, I can dig this.
Yeah, looks really cool. The trailer was a cinematic trailer, not gameplay trailer, but it looks really cool.
Okay.
Like
All right,
cool
good
concept.
though. Yeah. All right. Tell me
It's
more.
It looks funny and stuff.
Third person
Yeah,
action.
third person action, and you can. Seems like you have a choice of the different Suicide Squad members, like Harley Quinn, one of the mutant guys. I think a shot guy, Deadshot,
I saw
Will
that. I
Smith.
saw like the silhouette of them all lined up. Yeah, I remember seeing
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool. That's
I think there's some co-op. I'm not really sure how much. So I'm just hoping that I won't miss out by not playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's all I just worry about. I just hope that it's everybody's in the game and they're controlled by AI, because I don't want to be like single player. You only have like one person. That makes no sense. Like
Yeah.
I hate it when co-op games do that. Like you only have the other characters with you if you have a buddy to play with, but like
Yeah.
but they're part of the story. Like, are you not seeing this
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
something narrative, something whatever.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So, what else y'all do?
That's it for me. I just spoke, so Fo, it's your turn.
Kind of on the same topic. Season 2 of The Boys is airing right now. They're doing like one episode every Friday. So 5 episodes of season 2 are out so far, and it's pretty good still.
Do you know how many
So, I'm liking
episodes
that a lot.
in total there'll be? 10?
I assume it's the same as season 1. I don't know how many are in season 1. So yeah, 10 probably.
I might just wait.
10 to 12. Yeah, maybe. I'm liking how different it is from the comics, because the comics are very like side questy. It's kind of like, oh yeah, for this comic we're clearly just gonna lampoon the X-Men for like 10 episodes, and that is great. I love it. But like the show's much more like, this is the story. Like there's 2 or 3 threads, and this is just what the story is. And so like I don't know what's gonna do all
Yeah,
that.
because there's quite a lot of was it like 60 something issues, right?
It's a pretty long one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. Because I think it was like 7. Was it more than 7? Something trades, and a trade is. I mean, there's 12 trades, and a trade's about 5 or 6. So yeah, it'd be about 60. I'm reading. So I finished reading Doom Patrol, and I started reading a random one I just picked up. It was on sale, called Meta Baron, and it's like this. It's a recent comic, but it reads like something from like the 70s. Like it reads like Valeria and the City of Tomorrow, which is like, it's this like, the dialogue is so bad and cheesy, but kind of in a good way. But the art's very good, and the sci-fi-ness is like a good level of like fantasy. So
You're
the-
buying
the
digital,
premise is,
right?
like, yeah, I did buy digital. 'Cause it's
Did you
cheaper.
get all the Black Panther comics?
I didn't think
Comixology
of any
gave
of
them
them.
all away.
Oh man, I should have done
Yeah,
that.
because,
I read a lot of
Chadwick
Black
Boseman-
Sad, which is about a Black Panther man, which is a different thing completely.
Because when Chadwick
because-
passed
because,
away,
yeah.
they gave away like I think almost all or something, like crazy amounts, like hundreds or something.
That would be kind of cool to read, because I haven't read Marvel in a long time. I read a lot of Marvel back in high school when the Civil War was a thing. And the Black Panther was doing cool stuff back then, so I'd be tempted to read more, but I don't really read a lot of actual like superhero comics anymore. I mean, I guess Doom Patrol is technically a superhero comic, but like it reads more like Sandman. It's just kind of weird and trippy.
I don't understand how he got so fit and big for his role as Black Panther while battling whatever he had.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Money.
Suits.
Studio money.
But that's crazy though, still. Like, how do you go through all those treatments and bulk up? Like,
Yeah,
I don't get it.
it's,
You shriveled
I
down,
didn't-
man.
I know it kind of when I heard because when he first passed, I think he passed away. Yeah, the week after we talked, I think, because actually I was live during my other podcast when the news hit. And
I thought it was a
I think-
prank at first.
Yeah, and I think
Whenever
for
there's a
me, what
celeb
was-
death, I'm like, I'm not sure if this is
Yeah.
real.
I know. And because it caught me so off guard because I was like, what happened? And I never really shared this, but my father also had colon cancer, similar kind of cancer. My father survived. He's okay. But like, it's just so scary to be like, oh my gosh. Just, I don't know. It was just really creepy to see that. And whew, gone too soon. That's for sure.
Yeah, wasn't he like 43 or something?
Yeah. He was very young. And
Oh,
yeah,
he's
like
younger
you,
than that. Yeah, he's super young.
yeah. And like you said, he, he'd been battling it for years. And yeah, I have no idea how on earth he was able to do the movies he did with what was going on.
Because he was also in Tenet, right? That just came out like a couple
Oh, he
years
was?
ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or I
Yeah.
think.
You mean the
I think
Nolan
it's-
movie, right?
Am I the which one?
The Nolan movie, right? The new Nolan movie.
Yes. Yeah. I thought he
Yeah.
was in it.
Haven't seen
I haven't
it.
seen it.
I'm not really sure.
What did I watch though? So I watched The Boys. I'm almost done with Dororo, which is an anime. I think I talked about it already.
Yeah.
The Samurai that lost all
Works
his...
back.
Yeah.
His bits. Yeah. I have 2 episodes left, 2.5 episodes left. I'm watching. Taskmaster is still great on YouTube. Watch more Taskmaster if you can. I think that's pretty much it for shows. For movies, I watched a very bad movie that I think I'd recommend called Velocipaster. It's about a pastor
I saw the
Ooh.
posters for this one.
who gets the ability to turn into a velociraptor, and he fights crime and ninjas.
You always gotta have ninjas.
Always have ninjas. It's a pretty good movie. It's completely self-aware.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Must be like Rubber, not Rubber.
Yeah.
The tire
almost,
movie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's Rubber, I think. Rubber's got
Rubber?
a tire that rolls around.
Yeah,
blows
kills people with its mind powers. The tire.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
what?
That movie's a little weird. That one's not so much a comedy. It's
When
very
you say
meta.
rubber, I thought, do you mean Flubber, the Robin Williams
No,
movie?
no, not Flubber, not Flubber. I watched Flubber as a child. Way too
I
many
love
times.
Flubber,
No,
yeah.
I know, I did too. Rubber. It's about a tire, an evil psychic killing tire.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can find it on Netflix too.
that one's pretty weird. This one's a little more lighthearted. But so
Okay.
the problem is,
A man of
because
the
it's
claw.
self-aware- Because it's self-aware, I expected more. There's definitely a large
okay.
number of jokes where I laugh out loud and it's great. There's also a lot of moments where I'm like, this isn't. I don't know. If you're trying to be funny, it's not working. So, I don't know. I'd still recommend it. Probably, it's good.
Good.
Um,
Just to say you've watched it. I feel like I would just watch it just to say I watched it. Be like, do you guys know this movie exists? Be like, what?
I think
Why?
my favorite bad movie is I really like Hard Ticket to Hawaii. You might have seen some gifs from scenes of it because like there's this one famous scene where for some reason this kid, he's a man, but he's playing like a kid, and he's like skateboarding down the freeway, and under his arm he has an inflatable sex doll, and this guy drives by him in a convertible, and he like pulls over and he turns around and he pulls out like a rocket launcher and he shoots it at the guy, and the guy throws the sex doll in the air and it intercepts the rocket and blows up, and it's just like it's a weird movie. It's about like Hawaiian police people are trying to track down an anaconda that's been infested with AIDS, super AIDS.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Okay. I don't know.
All
Like, when we
right.
talk about bad movies, I'm not saying I don't like bad movies. I just don't know if there's like a traditional bad movie that's my
Time Call.
favorite. The only thing. Huh?
The Room is the number one one.
I
right?
know,
The
but
Room
like
or
usually,
Samurai
like
Cop or
those,
something.
Yeah. However, I will say, and I have literally not seen this movie in probably 20 years, so I have no idea. But I do know as a kid, I loved, what's it called? I just had it. Master of Disguise, which I was told later is a horrible movie, but I know I loved it as a kid, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Kids like really stupid things, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where it is. It's like if you're older than us, you never liked it. And if you're younger than us, you never liked it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I also liked it as a kid, but I definitely watched it not that long ago. And it's
okay. Doesn't hold up.
pretty cringy. I don't know.
I feel like my fiance is like notably hates that movie, so I need to put it on someday.
I respect Dana Carvey for committing to the character so hard. But like it just fails on so many levels because like I don't think like the story doesn't make any sense, and then like the jokes are just like they're almost just like they're funny because he's being so obnoxious and weird, and sometimes that works, and sometimes it's just like this is taking too long to get to the next thing already.
I think I saw that movie in theaters too.
Nice.
I'm just looking at pictures of Master of Disguise because I didn't watch it. Somebody said Mitch McConnell looks like Dana Carvey as the turtle from the Master of Disguise.
Yes, that is accurate. I would say I do think probably everybody should watch it because there's a lot of really like funny quotes, like just like single one-liners you can pull out of it.
I mean, the thing I used to do, this is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. I did that all the time as a kid. I'm not joking. Like that was a thing I would just quote all the time.
There's probably a part that didn't age so well though. I see that he did an Arabian brown face disguise as well.
Ooh,
He does do that.
Apparently,
they were shooting that movie when 9/11 happened.
Ooh.
So, like,
yeah, it came out 2002, not that long after.
There's like they have like a moment of silence on set with like Dana Carvey in the turtle suit, like when he found out. Like, what was that like? Oh, so weird. In terms of stuff I've played, I've gotten a little bit back into Monster Hunter World just because the last expansion's coming out in a couple weeks, and I want to like beat it.
Wait, last expansion?
The last.
So
the last content.
Oh, okay. So Iceborne is expansion, right? But are they coming out with a new paid one?
This is no.
Oh, free one.
Actually, I don't think they ever will because Nintendo Direct just had 2 Monster Hunter announcement games for 2021.
Yes,
yeah,
which seems like a lot.
Is it actually?
They both look good.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be exclusive on the system though.
Yes.
Monster Hunter Rise is the one that looks like not original, like a classic Monster Hunter game.
Classic.
Yeah. And the other one is that turn-based like Pokemon style game. I know Sarah knows this one.
It's more of a JRPG.
Yeah. What was it called?
Like Dungeons you're talking about?
No. It's like you have Monster Hunter Origins.
This is called Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Stories. The first one was on like 3DS.
Yeah. So I'm actually really excited for both, which is I did not expect this much extra Monster Hunter stuff. But I'm on board for it. So yeah, I played Monster Hunter. I'm playing a couple visual novels right now.
Ooh.
One's called The Wayhaven Chronicles Book 1. There is a Book 2. You play as like a detective in a small town where a murder happens, and I'm not that far into it yet, but it's very strongly indicating that like the out-of-town detectives who are helping me are actually like werewolves and the actual criminal's a vampire.
What made you want to buy it?
So super. It was like $3, and I wanted to just play a game that I could read. This is one of those. This is not a visual novel. I'm sorry. This is just a novel, a choose-your-own-adventure novel, like video game. It's on Steam, but like there's no graphics. It's just text and then choices.
Oh, okay. It's a text adventure. Yeah. Okay, traditional text adventure.
I'm playing 2 of those because I'm playing that one, and I'm also playing what's it called? The Choice of the Rockstar, which is basically the same thing, but you're just in a band and you have to make choices about like what kind of instruments you want in your band, and like does your brother get to help and that kind of stuff. So that one's kind of fun because there's no stakes and I could be addicted to people because I'm a rock star.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, oh man, you feel pretty hungover. Do you A, power through it, B, have a coffee, C, have more alcohol. It's just like, it doesn't matter.
I may need that after the week that's been going on this week. Man, and this is so off topic, but I have to ask, did anybody ever read the literal Choose Your Own Adventure novels, or just me?
You mean the company that has the trademark to the term Choose Your Own Adventure?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think so. I did.
I don't know if I did.
Okay,
I don't think so.
My local library had some of the books, because they were actually older than me, like when I got my hands on them, and I read every single one they had. They only had like 10 of them, and I was obsessed with those things. It probably informed my foray into visual novels, because I was so in love with those things. I would like have bookmarks at every choice point.
I'd use my fingers until I ran out of fingers.
Yeah, and then exactly, and then like go through it, and like I would check like to see if one of them would have an ending, and then read the ending one first, then go back. It's
Smart.
Intense. Oh, good times. I had a friend
I could do that with video games easier.
I know, right? Save files, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can do with visual novels, but yeah, good times. I just had to ask. So random.
I remember as a kid I had a Chronicles of Narnia Choose Your Own Adventure, and it actually in the beginning, in the book, it had like 5 blank lines, and you're supposed to write like pieces of equipment that you bring with you.
Wow.
I don't remember how it actually utilized that though. Like if you have rope, you can do a thing.
Do this.
I don't remember how it actually works.
Huh. Fascinating. Now,
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm bringing a bag of everything. I don't know. It seems way too exploitable.
Right? Bag of holding. As
A
everything.
machine gun. Take this, White Witch.
Anyway, what else did you do? Sorry for that.
I think that's pretty much everything for me. Was there other? I know there's other stuff I wanted to watch. I feel like there were movies I watched that were cool that I wanted to recommend. And I should have written stuff down, and I didn't. I played a game of Blood Bowl 2 randomly, and that was kind of okay. Mm-hmm. The game is real tilty. So much RNG in it.
Oh, God.
They should just make a full-on like sports game with it. I'd play that.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, you go, Shar. I'm gonna try and think what I did. I've been kind of busy editing this stuff actually, because I'm working on that.
What are you putting up now? What are you uploading?
Well, so this is not for my channel. Like I have, this guy was he was looking for writers to work on like a show that's like MST3K but for random sports, and so I've been editing that. I ended up being the editor as well as a writer. So I've been, it's fine once I have the pieces lined up, just like putting effects and stuff. That's fun, but like it's really tedious to like take 3 hours worth of acting and say, okay, take timestamp here to here. That's our take. That's our take. It's not super stimulating, but it's all lined up now. So now it's just haggling over very small editing decisions.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this. I think I mentioned playing it, but I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You didn't really like it very much, so did you?
It's not that I didn't like it. It's okay. I did have a few problems with it. Number one, I didn't like the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't like the remastered music. I much prefer the original.
Oh.
Like I don't know, like it has the hints of the old classics, but it feels too modern, I guess, and I'm not really into the modern sounds that they decided to go with.
Oh, okay.
And so it felt a little bit like it kind of annoyed me that it had that hint of nostalgia, but also I just wasn't a fan of how they decided to go with the music. It wasn't bad or anything. Some of them were good. I like the upgrading the weapon skill tree and all that.
Yeah.
I just much prefer like turn based. That's still my thing.
I think that was the problem. Yeah, you prefer full turn based.
Full turn based, yeah.
And I'm a little bit more into.
I like action, but it's not like Devil May Cry action. Like I mentioned, it was like feels like a mix of the two, and I'm not really into that. Because it was what Final Fantasy 15 did. This is better than Final Fantasy 15 though. This is better.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And the last thing that I had problems with was the voice acting.
Yes, that's right.
It just felt like people talking to themselves and not talking to each other. So But the game was good. I spent like 50 something 60 hours on it. The game is not like game wasn't good. The game was good. I'm looking forward to the part 2. I actually didn't finish the original. This make me want to play the original again, and like
Except it's gonna be
I didn't
so
get
much
quite
longer.
far into the original. Just didn't finish it. So I don't have the same like nostalgia or the love, but playing it does remind me of that time of playing those like PlayStation 1 JRPGs, and it did give me a sense of nostalgia in that way, but not specifically for this title.
Right.
But overall, I did enjoy it a lot, and
It's well done.
Yeah, I even thought about going through each chapter again, playing it on hard, because that's how you get like the skill books and stuff, which annoys me. Like I have to play it on hard to like kind of complete the game. I didn't do it. It was too hard. Like, it was just too hard. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Just make a Final Fantasy VIII remake for me, please. Like, just.
Maybe.
I just want that.
I mean, they're kind of on a roll. We'll see.
Not really.
I mean, they're doing. They're choosing 16. I mean, they got 16 coming out, which I was like, all right.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that. Saw the trailer for Final Fantasy 16, and I'm not sure. Did your fiance see it?
Yeah.
So, 15 wasn't really my bag.
It wasn't her bag either.
I'm hoping to finish it someday. I have like the complete edition, like Royal Edition or whatever. But I hope to complete it one day. It's just the combat just really is grinding. I might just play it on easy or something if that was an option.
Sense,
I can't even remember if there's a difficulty option. But one of the things that I also dislike from 15 and also like from 16, it doesn't feel or look like a Final Fantasy game. So I played a specific amount of not specific amount. So I played almost all except except for 1 and 2. And it seems like there are these like specific elements that kind of all the games share. There's like this mix between like the fantasy medieval things and like steampunk and sci-fi. There's like this mix, right? And Final Fantasy 15 felt mostly contemporary and sci-fi, grounded sci-fi, urban. I didn't like that. You drove a fucking car.
A flying car.
Yeah, you do. It's a fucking car. Was it a branded car? Was it like a...
I don't remember. I actually don't know.
Because they had like branding in the game, like with the noodle cups and stuff.
Oh, not surprised.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Mercedes or some shit, but I don't think so. I can't remember really.
Or maybe a Honda or something.
So Final Fantasy 16 looked just medieval, and I'm not really into that. If I want to play medieval games, I'll play a Western RPG. I don't play Final Fantasy for that. Like, am I making sense?
Does medieval? That's awesome. So you get like Dark Souls and Berserk.
I mean, it looks pretty cool, but the design, like the theme, I wasn't really into. The character design, so like in Final Fantasy, all the characters that you can have in your party and all the villains and some of the side characters look unique.
Right.
Yeah.
And this one, they all look like not unique. Like I don't know how to say it. Like, it's, like visually, like it seems like they just keep going for like high fidelity instead of like being unique anymore. And I'm just
that's I could.
I'm just really
I can
disappointed
see
with that.
Which is very frustrating.
Just really,
The character designs thing is having
It's more of an art
a
design
silhouette or whatever.
More of an art design direction than like it looks gorgeous fidelity wise. It looks beautiful.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just like an old head talking about, I don't like the new kids doing the new things. Like, I don't know. But I do have this like specific thing I want from my Final Fantasy games. And that's why I never played all the MMOs.
I've only played like the first 4 Final Fantasies. I mean, I played some others, but like the original ones seemed to me pretty medieval.
Very medieval, yeah.
Like with the mages and monks.
Very,
because
very much so, yeah.
The first like 4 were.
Yeah, we were talking about like D&D, yeah. very much
D&D.
D&D inspired.
Yeah, I mean, they basically just took terms and all that stuff, especially number 1, right from D&D.
Yeah.
And, Dungeons and Dragons is pretty medieval. At least
Yeah, it
its
is,
first iteration of it was.
Classically, yeah.
Yes.
Classically, yeah.
So, I think there's something to be said for that.
I think 4 had
that's
some
kinda
like flying airship thing. I think 5 too. So there was a bit of a steam.
The whale, the space whale, the moon whale, whatever it's called.
But 6 is where they really
to the moon.
started to move away from just purely medieval to some like more
kind of
tech.
like a
Like,
mix.
I'm sure there's a better word for it, but like like magic punk kind of stuff, where it's like we've got like technology that runs on magic. that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yes, they were kind of the ones that
Would
got
you
really
say
big.
7
crystals.
is mostly urban though?
I would say so.
But it
because
does
it's
have
about-
a look to it though. It's unique. Like, am I making sense?
No, it does. I mean, it is more urban because it has to do with environmentalism and corporate governments growing immensely. It's one of the first ones where, because Final Fantasy usually, well, not Japanese RPGs actually usually, but especially Final Fantasy really for whatever reason loves to tout the religion is evil kind of thing. And that was one I remember hearing that 7 was kind of unique because it wasn't religion, but it was corporatism that was evil, essentially.
You pretty much
So-
fight God in other games.
Yeah, if it's
Should've
a
fought
priest,
the
it's evil.
$1 in 7.
Yeah, there's in Final Fantasy 14. There's a not a patch. What's it called? One of the storylines has to do with this city-state that is run by a pope and whatever. And surprise, he's evil, and you depose him. Surprise.
16, the director, is the guy that did the Resurrection of 14. So people are hype about that because he did make, turn the game around to make it really
Yes,
good.
he did. Yeah, he did turn. Yes, he turned the game around. I never played 1.0, which is the first iteration of Final Fantasy 14, but
So I think what will end up becoming is Final Fantasy 16 will be just a really good product at the end. But I would definitely play it for sure, but it might not just feel like Final Fantasy to me. I'm not even sure what that means exactly, how different of all the Final Fantasy.
Right. I may actually, because I actually never really, I knew a lot about Final Fantasy games. I never really traditionally picked them up. I did actually play a good deal of 9 on the Switch. I just, literally when I was playing
Seriously,
it,
yeah.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses came out, so I never finished it. So I would like to. I'm very familiar with 10, just because I've seen it so many times. And I remember,
I think PC you get to play a lot of them too.
Yeah.
If you have a
I
3DS and PC or Switch, you can pretty much play
Yep.
quite a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I remember I tried to play 4, and I couldn't get past the first dungeon, and I just gave up. I was very young at the time. It was when they ported it to the DS, I think, and I
After
probably just
years.
wasn't playing it correctly. I probably just wasn't playing it correctly. I remember being Cecil with 2 mage characters and running out of ethers. That's all I remember.
Final Fantasy VII Remake forced me to use items a lot, which I thought was good.
Interesting.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hoard a lot of items in JRPGs, like
For sure.
most people do. But it forced me to use items, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
15, I will admit, I'm kind of glad that, it wasn't really that good. But I'm not going to lie, I was really turned off by the fact that you had a group of only male characters.
But
really
they did
was
go
turned
for
off
that,
by it.
all male boy band,
It's
Yeah.
the hang. I remember I
Yeah.
joked, I was like, "What is this? The Hangover, the video game?" And I was right, which was really weird. I didn't even
would
play it. It was
have
just the way it was
preferred
presented.
if it was like a Final Fantasy spin-off game and not a main title game.
I think, and that's kind of that's actually kind of what it felt like with the premise. And I was like, all right.
And they're all dressed in black. Again, I just like my characters unique. In Final Fantasy
Yeah.
9, you had this bunny rabbit knight thing,
Yes.
and you had a
Little
protagonist
black,
with a tail, and
Yes.
I mean
like
your
my-
typical princess, but you had a chef that was like a big I don't even know what.
Yeah.
I
No,
like-
exactly.
And I guess what I'm saying when I say it doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game is all these small little elements, not really unique characters that don't really look unique, and the themes are not just one type of it's not just medieval. Usually it's a mix of magic punk, what
Yeah.
Full said.
I
And
guess, and to be fair, we'll have to see. There may be
I'm
more
sure
we're
it's gonna be a
see
good
into.
game.
Right.
It's just
But yeah, I'll
Did
probably.
I
I
see
mean,
that-
I'll into it.
Did I see that they were bringing Crystal Chronicles to the Switch?
It's out, yeah.
I saw it's out already.
Yeah, it's out, yeah.
'Cause that's a game that was really hard to play
On GameCube.
GameCube back in the day. So it'd
Oh,
be
wow.
fun to see
I
if
heard
they
that
did it better.
I heard that this one didn't really do it so well with the multiplayer aspect. I'm not really sure what. I know that you have to have one character holding the chalice cup thing.
Yes. Because normally, single player, you have basically, the land is awash with poison, so you have like this chalice that you carry with you, and it has like a circle of like not poison. Normally, at one player, you have a Moogle who just follows you around with it. But on two player, for some reason the Moogle skives off, and so one person doesn't get to play, they just get to carry the chalice around. I mean, they can set it down, but like, it sucks. Nobody wants to be the chalice carrier.
So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I finished. I finally finished one of the few Ratchet and Clank games that I did not play on the PlayStation 3. Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. It's not... It plays like a mainline game, but it's a shorter one. It's like I think the last one that came out on the PlayStation 3. So I'm not mistaken. But it's nice. It's like really short. And it's fun. It's Ratchet and Clank. Can't wait for the new one.
Nice.
But the two like really new games, not new. One is not that new. I played Death Stranding, a Hideo Kojima game,
wow.
and and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 remake, remaster, whatever it's called.
Nice. I considered picking that up.
If you like any of the Tony Hawk games, especially 1 and 2, you should, because it's really good. Like, it just feels like you're playing the old game, but in a very, like, everything's just new now.
I remember going to like friends' houses and playing it like in middle school, elementary school. So I probably don't remember that much, and probably was terrible at it. So it'd be cool to actually play it.
I suck at the game now. I suck at it a lot.
Yeah.
It's just,
think
and
the
I see
only
these
Tony
people
Hawk
like
game I've
pulling
actually
off
played all
like
the way through is Underground.
million-point combos. I'm like, what the fuck? It's crazy, but it's an
watched a
amazing
speed
game.
run
It's really
of
good.
One of the Tony Hawks, and apparently, like when like they give you quests, it's like do 3 kickflips. It doesn't actually care if you do a kickflip. It just cares that you've done a move called kickflip. So all the speedrunners will make a custom move that's the shortest possible and just call it kickflip or whatever the move they have to make.
Oh my gosh.
So
Pretty lazy.
it's one of my
Weird way
like
to
game of the years this year. It's that good. It's just so good. If you really
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, if you really like, it's just a really well done remake. Like just all the content is in there. Everything is in there. But I think for PC you gotta buy from the Epic Game Store for now. I'm not really sure how long the exclusivity will last for. And it's also using
see
the
now?
Nouveau, so you gotta play online if you want to play single player.
If you boot Rocket League through Steam right now, it forces you to log in with your Epic Game account to actually play Rocket League.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
That's
they
pretty
they
funny.
bought them or
tries
something,
to
right?
trick you into sharing your friends list with them. You don't have to, but like the UI makes it look like you might have to.
What was it? If you add because Rocket League is going free to play, and if you add Rocket League between September 23rd and
Add it
and
to
another
Steam.
date, you get a free. Oh, you get a $10 coupon. That's what you got. So you just have to add it to your Epic Game Store. Use a $10 coupon to get Tony Hawk.
I still don't have an Epic Game account.
Really?
I don't eat.
She bought a
I
few
just-
games on it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I already have
just
so many unplayed games.
That's true.
Same. That's the only problem is I'm so backlogged. It's terrible.
I'm gonna get that coupon and see what I can buy.
And you're gonna flaunt it.
Tony Hawk's really, really good. I really recommend it. If you ever played any of the Tony Hawk games previously, it's so good. Like being able to play it on a modern system.
You know what game I wish they'd bring back from that era? I really liked Time Splitters. That was kind of like my go-to. party
They
game
are.
at that time.
Somebody's making a remake of it.
Cool.
I can't remember which one
a
or if they're
crazy game.
combining any of them, but I definitely remember talks of a remake for Time Splitters.
It was kind of like the GoldenEye
Hmm.
dethroner, at least when I grew up.
Yeah,
Parties
I love
stopped
playing
GoldenEye
co-op.
and I started playing Time Splitters.
co-op was great on that.
Co-op was really cool.
So yeah, Death Stranding, the game where you play the postman.
Posting with fetus.
Yes,
Posting with a fetus.
it's amazing.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Really.
All right. Didn't look like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I've played Hideo Kojima games, so I'm not put off by the weirdness at all. I've played a lot of weird games.
Yeah.
We've played a lot of
weirdness
weird
wasn't
games,
what
so
I was worried about.
yeah.
It looks too scary for me.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has,
I
like,
saw,
invisible
the
enemies that you can't
cinematics for this
see.
were scary because the weird like flying smoke monsters,
Mm.
and even the little bits of gameplay I saw where people like running away from these weird like Slenderman type things. Like, okay,
It's not like it's not like horror game, but it's definitely there are moments where you get like shit. I'm in the middle of a place where there's just a bunch of them,
Stealthy
and I
moments.
can't see any of them. So
Oh,
I don't want to spoil anything, if just in case, because it's on PC now on Steam and stuff, right?
Right.
The visually the game is beautiful. The song selection in the game is also really good. Like, I'm not talking about the original soundtrack. He chose songs from like indie bands, indie solo artists, and
That's nice.
it has just very specific like electronic sounds. It's not like EDM. It's not like dance music or anything, but just like it just fits the theme and the world really good. But what I really like about the game is the theme and the gameplay matches. So the whole theme is about for it is you're trying to reconnect America, get people connected together again, that kind of thing, right? And it has a online component to it where other players can help you out by leaving things on the ground or building structures, and you can see them and you can use them. You can choose to dismantle them, but I'm pretty sure you will only dismantle them in your game. So maybe if it's like blocking like a path that you want to use, you can remove it, that kind of thing. But most of the time, it's very helpful. And not the currency. This game don't really have a currency. Do you have materials to build stuff though? But when you deliver packages, you get evaluated by likes, like social media likes. So you can also like other people's structures, and I usually do because it's really helpful. And there's just this. It just feels like the theme of the game of like connecting people together and that online component just feels so right. Like he really put a lot of thought into it, and just being helpful. Like a lot of players out there just building bridges and really helpful structures, and you can like if let's say a player put up a structure and wants to upgrade it but doesn't have the materials, you can put in the materials as well. So everybody's just working together, and that just feels really good. And delivering packages is also satisfying. It's become like so there's a story, and like you have to do like specific main quests, which are deliveries to progress in the game. But you can do all these like side quests, and it just feels so satisfying delivering the packages. And it's become if I just want to play a game without thinking too much, I just do side quest deliveries. Like that's all I do. It just feels really satisfying. It's just I wasn't expecting to like this game this much.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what I was
Very good.
expecting, to be honest. But
Fair
but what I would say is, if you do plan to play it, play the main story until you reach like chapter 3, like as fast as you can, because it really opens up after that.
Gotcha.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah. It's a great game. When did it come out? Like last year, right?
That sounds right.
I think very recently, fairly
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Last year or two.
So if it's last year, it can't be my game of the year, but it's definitely one of my favorite games of recent memory for sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so good. Holy hell. A lot of weird things about it, which I kind of like too. So, and some of them is just like we don't know why it does this. Like the characters in game, we don't know why it does this. So the game developers don't have to explain it.
Of course.
But it's fine. Sometimes if you explain too much, it just breaks down and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, mystery's always good. There's nothing wrong with that.
So other than that, I've been watching a series called Kim's Convenience. It's a Canadian sitcom.
Oh.
Yeah. It's about a South Korean immigrant family, and the family owns like a convenience store. but they're not like newly there. They're like been there for years. So like the kids grew up in that system, that kind of thing. So the parents speak with like a Korean accent, but the kids speak like North American English, I guess. I don't know, Canadian English. It's like in Toronto and stuff. It's really good. It's like 4 seasons. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Yeah, it's on Netflix. 4 seasons only, and it's all finished now. It's really good, actually. And
how'd you hear about it?
my partner's Canadian. It's really popular. It's a popular series there. And it's quite popular. I've heard of my friends watching it. Malaysian friends who like watched it on Netflix too. Yeah, it won awards and stuff in Canada. So yeah, go watch it. It's really funny. That's mostly what I did. Yeah.
I remembered a couple more things. I finished watching season 2 of The Umbrella Academy, which is still good.
I feel like I need to watch that.
I think you'd like it. I think you both would like it if you watched it. I wouldn't say that you have to see it, but
Right, yeah.
if you're looking for something to watch,
I've heard good things about it, for sure.
Yeah, it's good. I think the most noteworthy thing I forgot to mention is I started playing Luigi's Mansion 3.
Ooh.
I've never played 1 or 2, but this one has co-op, so I wanted to play it with Lady
Nice.
Hamner. You have to play it for about an hour. It took me about an hour to unlock, to get far enough into the story to unlock that thing that lets you do co-op. But it's pretty fun.
Didn't know you had to
Basically,
unlock co-op.
you get like you like rescue the scientist who I guess is from previous games, and he gives you this like bottle of ectoplasm.
Oh, it's like Goo
out of your
Luigi or
backpack.
something, right?
Gooigi, yeah. So it's really funny because I had her playing as Gooigi because Gooigi can't die. Like if he loses HP, he just goes back into the vat, so he just spawns back out again. And because the first thing, like after getting Gooigi, the game really forces you to use Gooigi so you can learn how to use him, but in co-op that just meant that she had to do all of the work, and so she's like fighting this boss because Gooigi can go through bars, so I'm like kind of standing there watching while she's fighting this boss, and then she beats him and the cutscene starts and Luigi just goes, "I did it," and she's like, "I did it." Like it's so perfect. It's like, you piece of crap.
That's funny.
So yeah, I'm only a couple hours into that, but that's pretty good. And the last thing I wanted to bring up, not really relevant per se, but I had a friend who just, I had a friend who's like, like, what game would you recommend I play? And it's like, for this person specifically, I was like, I think you should play Nier Automata. I think you'd really like it. And somebody else in the Discord channel was like, I got halfway through Nier Automata, but I just couldn't finish it because the dresses were too stupid. I'm like, yeah, I mean,
The what?
They're not great.
The dresses?
The outfits.
Okay.
Okay.
They're not great. Like, they're easily the worst part of the game. Like, I can't recommend it to everybody because they made that.
Is it
I
a bit
dumb,
too fan
ridiculous.
servicey or something?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's fair. That's very fair.
It is fair. But, I mean, I think most people should be able to get over it and play
yeah.
an otherwise very good game.
Right, yeah.
Especially once you start playing it. Like, having to stop because of it is really interesting to me. Anyway, this person, hearing me recommend it to the original person, this new person went and finished the game. Like, oh, I didn't like it. I was like, oh man, that's too bad. Like, yeah, I played it on easy, and I just found like the story to be really dumb. Like, oh, you can't play it on easy. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not against easy, but like with his skill level, this person had just the previous game he had just finished was Bloodborne. So I know they're a good player.
Okay.
It's like. I'm like part of what makes the game cool is like the
customization.
blurring of the line between gameplay and story. Like the narrative really makes you feel like, oh, I'm like the thing I'm doing is like really important, like the opposite of a QTE kind of thing. And they just didn't get it. And
Isn't easy mode, especially on Nier Automata, like really easy too?
Yeah.
Isn't it practically it plays itself, from what I've heard?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when you're playing, you have buttons to use your melee attacks, and you have like the trigger buttons to use like your little robot's machine gun.
Right.
And in easy mode, the little robot just auto targets and shoots constantly.
But
I
also what I recall, because if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, I was mostly just kind of observing, because if I recall correctly, you can like turn on or off certain functions of your character.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you can, if you turn them all on, your character practically, you just point and shoot, and she just goes, from what I understood. So that's why I'm especially like,
It's interesting because like these are like modifications that she puts on her, or like
Yes.
the different characters that you use, and
Yes.
some of them turns off like certain UI elements, like it becomes like options
Exactly.
and stuff. But you then can
Yeah.
put in, because you have that thing off, you have extra space to put in something else. So
Yep,
Yeah, like I
exactly.
can take out the ability to see my health bar to put in like plus 1% damage or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or you can self-destruct if you just. take out
it's
your-
not it's not that hard of a
The
game,
core.
I would say. But I think
The gameplay is not.
playing
it's not
it on easy is fine, I suppose.
It's fine. It just. I am a little
For this
surprised
person
as we
specifically,
chose.
it was a bad decision.
I would say like
Again.
for Nier Automata, for sure, you gotta just keep going. The story doesn't open up until the first credit scene, which is a weird thing to say, but
No, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was like, that's why when this person's like, should I replay? It's like you gotta finish it, and I mean for them it still didn't work. Like so, like the ending, they hated the ending E after the credits. They did not like it at all. But
oh,
don't know.
they don't get
This
it. They're like,
person- well, I mean, it's not. I'm not saying like they don't get it, but like this person also, I don't think I've ever agreed with them. Like they think
Got it.
Attack on Titan's the best anime of all time,
Oh, jeez.
and
Ew.
it's not.
Good sir. All right. Sometimes you just know a person's taste. and you
so
just
this
know-
person
just-
is mainstream the person like Attack on Titan.
maybe.
I would agree with that.
Okay,
Okay, Bloodborne.
which is fine.
Hey, there's nothing
You
wrong
do
with
you,
that.
man,
It's
but
just-
your opinion is
you
wrong.
do.
Have any, they don't really bring anything to the table that I haven't already seen. I guess
Right.
you could
Got
say.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, did you watch this like totally
It's-
unheard
it's
of
just
anime
painful because
called
they love.
Attack on Titan?
It's painful because they act like this kind of intellectual who wants
Yeah.
to like debate everything. Like they were trying to pull me into like clearly I'm right about Nier Automata, and I want to convince you that you're wrong about it. It's
Ugh.
like, if you didn't like it, I don't tell you.
Yes, I hate those people. So I've had my share of dealing with those people, and especially as a
I'm
woman, you're
sure.
just like
I was gonna
so
say, I
exhausted.
was not gonna say, but I was thinking, especially as a
Yeah,
woman.
exactly. They're just like, listen, and it's so frustrating because you're like, okay, and they keep like trying to bait you, and you're just like, okay, yikes, like it's fine. I don't really care. I was just saying, oh, this seemed cool. Like I really don't
This
care. that you
reminds
hate
me
it so
of
much.
a not Twitter, a Reddit conversation I saw. It was
no.
basically this person saying like, "Oh, I really dislike this game because of this, and then somebody else saying,
Yeah.
"That's fair, but I disagree because I think the game is pretty good because they had did this," and then the reply to that was, it's like a third person came in and they said something
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, but you don't have to make it so like your opinion is the only valid one. And I'm like, they didn't do that though. You know how
They
conversations work, right? Person A
Yeah,
gives
like-
their
That's just
opinion.
Reddit.
Person B
Everything
gives
has
their
two
opinion.
opinions of-
Like nobody's saying their opinion is more valid. Like I looked at a conversation and I'm like, I cannot find what you're looking at, dude. Like I really can't.
People just get so mad when you don't like agree with them 110%, and it's so frustrating, especially someone like me who just doesn't get involved in those conversations. Like having someone trying to constantly bait me, and it's like, okay, cool, like go and
also
hate
don't-
it.
I don't feel that strongly about almost anything. So, like, even if I
Same.
disagree with you, it's like I don't care still, kind of.
Yeah, even if it's like there's very few games that I will kind of put my foot down and go, excuse me. The closest maybe was when Game Grumps played a Nancy Drew game, and I did yell at them because they were like, they don't tell us what to do. And I'm like, there's a freaking journal in the game. There's a checklist. You know, that's the only time I really got mad.
I read something I probably shouldn't have. I don't know how, but I came across a subreddit called
Uh-oh.
no, what was it? Rant Grumps. Not as our Rant Grumps, I think it was.
Huh,
And it's
okay.
about like disenfranchised Game Grumps fans who like don't like Game Grumps anymore.
Oh,
But
wow.
The thing that was pinned at the top of the subreddit is a 2-part post because the first post was too long to be one post, and it's just like a historical documentation of all of like the minor to serious scandals the Game Grumps have ever had. Like the time that Susie was caught buying things from Etsy stores and then selling them for 750% the price on her own Etsy store.
Whoa, I
Or
didn't
the
even know she
time-
did that.
or like apparently what's his name? Not who's the guy who's not Aaron? The sex party guy.
Why can't I, starts with a J, why can't I think of it?
Not John.
No, Danny.
Daniel. Yes, Dan.
Sorry,
You're
Danny
right,
Sexton. I don't know why I thought Jay. I'm sorry.
Apparently, he just sleeps with like all the fans. All the
Yeah,
time.
I have heard that one.
Okay, so
that
these
was,
are not like
the only real
small
bad thing
things
about
then.
No,
Those are
like,
larger
here's
ones.
documentation of Aaron being pretty racist. Here's
Yeah.
documentation of other things them doing bad. It's like, oh man, this is dark stuff that are doing.
Yeah,
They didn't. This is all post JonTron stuff too. Like they didn't even go back that far.
Yeah. I mean, Game Grumps is really just kind of. I don't really hear from them at all these days. I never really followed them distinctly. My brother was more of a fan than I was. I'm just not. Their comedy is the one of those like I like the clips, but not really watching a whole thing. Mostly
Same
just
for Markiplier.
See, I like Markiplier okay still, but that's mostly because, I mean, and I don't watch all his stuff anymore. It's only like certain videos, like certain series he does I will watch, but others I just avoid. But I think that my main issue is like with Game Grumps is the fact that they don't pay attention and then get really frustrated was really too annoying to watch after a while.
That's my deep-seated fear that I'll ever do that.
I
I'm
know.
always super self-conscious.
I know, I am too, that I'm going to miss something obvious, and it happens, but it's just very, very frustrating sometimes because, like, they will just immediately disparage the game as a result, and you're like, that's why I meant this, like, on my soapbox with the one Nancy Drew game. I guess they played another one because they were making fun of it so much, and everybody wanted to make fun of it. I was like, okay, but you don't have to like the game, but...
It's like, I mean, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm sure they're, like, heightening it for the sake of comedy, but also, like, they don't even, like, pay, like, they don't even, like, mention, like, I could be wrong, I could have missed it. Like, there's no acknowledgement of their fallibility. It's like, this game's garbage.
And I guess that's just what was so frustrating. It's like, this game is garbage because they don't give you hints of what to do, and I'm like, except they give you so many hints of what to do. The game basically gives you a walkthrough on the easy mode you're on. This game is meant for 10-year-old girls. Like, come on, guys, But otherwise, we're talking about opinions and stuff. There's very few games otherwise that I get really on my soapbox. I probably would on Phoenix Wright. If someone told me they didn't like Phoenix Wright, I probably wouldn't want to talk to them.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely,
But otherwise, like anything related to Star Wars, I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Don't
I'll talk
care
with you
about
but...
people's opinions on mainstream stuff.
Oh god, yeah.
Because
for
most
sure.
of the
I really
mainstream
don't
stuff
anymore.
is just there to
too hyperbolic.
To take your money, basically. It's just pure entertainment.
Yeah, people's opinions are too hyperbolic, and yes, it's at the end of the day, it's money, it's entertainment.
It's pure entertainment, which is fine. Like I love watching
totally
blockbuster movies too, summer blockbusters.
Yeah, dude,
but
I love most of the
what
Marvel movies.
lessons am I supposed to take from like Fast and Furious or some shit, or family? I guess I don't.
All
know.
the Marvel movies. I don't think I've seen a Marvel movie I didn't like, but I'm trying to remember if I've seen any of them more than once.
I've seen plenty of Marvel movies more than once. I have ones that I'm like, I don't feel like watching again. Thor 2.
I think I've seen Iron Man 1 a couple times.
Yeah, I've definitely seen
I've
that
seen
one.
Thor 3 twice.
Yeah.
That's a good one to watch.
I have my favorites. Yeah, I have my favorites, and I have the ones I'm like... I think the problem, especially when we get to DC movies versus Marvel movies, is the worst Marvel movie is still better than most DC movies except maybe Wonder Woman. And I didn't see Shazam, but maybe Shazam
Shazam's pretty okay.
Yeah.
I would say Shazam
I
is at least better
Shazam
than
and
Thor
Venom,
2.
like back to back without really with multitasking, so I don't remember that well. They both seemed fine. People hate Venom and Shazam seems okay.
Venom was like, we saw it in theaters and it was definitely okay, like I appreciate it calling itself out. Like honestly, it got a little too like self-aware sometimes, maybe, but it was kind of needed. But just the way Venom acted sometimes, and you're just like, all right, here's the catchy one-liners.
Surprised by that.
For sure, yeah. Here's the catchy one-liners.
Yeah. But the final fight was probably just as boring as the final fight from like Black Panther. Just
fair.
Two Black Panthers.
Each other. One of them stopped. Okay. I don't know.
That's fair.
It's like you play a fighting game. Somebody chose Venom and somebody chose an alternate color of Venom. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway.
So yeah.
Anyway, we're an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
Let's
Quickly news things.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk has released their system requirements. So I'm not gonna read the minimum.
Right.
I'll read the recommended. Windows 10, DirectX 12, Intel Core i7 4790 or AMD Ryzen 3 3200, 12 gigs of memory. Graphics card is 1066 gigabytes or an AMD R9 and 70 gigs of SSD. So
Oh, wow.
I'm at least above the recommended, but I like because some companies, what they do is they'll say this is the recommended specs to play it at this resolution for this frames. Like it's very like I just want to know what these recommended settings are for. Is it 1080p for like 12 frames per second, or like I just just tell me.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's 1080p at 60 frames because I'm more than satisfied with those numbers.
Oh yeah, I don't
need all the Ks or like 500 frames.
I think I should be okay. I haven't checked my specs.
You have like a
minute.
1080 or something.
Yeah,
You're fine.
I
You're
have
okay.
a pretty good graphics card, but I mean it's old, but it was like the highest end for its time.
And
so
they
I think
recommend
it's
it at
still-
1060. So
Okay, then it
Yeah.
should be okay. I just haven't looked at my specs in forever because I haven't updated my computer since I first got it built, and that was like 4 years ago. So
Likewise.
so the big news I would say would be all the stuff they announced for the Xbox Next Gen and the PlayStation 5. And it's the reason why I say
Yes.
Xbox Next Gen and PlayStation is just PlayStation 5 because PlayStation 5 is easy. Remember the Xbox? I don't really understand what's happening.
I don't either.
I think, okay, so I'm trying to understand. They are releasing two Xboxes. PlayStation is releasing
Yes.
two as well. One is a digital version and one is a normal disc version.
Yes.
$500 for the disc version, $400 for the non-disc version. This is PlayStation 5. And the
Yeah.
Xbox has an Xbox Series S, which is $300. And they also have an Xbox One X, which I think is like the full enhanced version of the next gen, which is $500, about the same.
I think that's okay.
There's an IGN tweet talking about backwards compatibility. So it says something. The Xbox Series S will not run Xbox One X enhanced versions of backwards compatible games, but will instead run Xbox One S versions of Xbox One and Xbox 360 titles. What? Somebody compared it to the 3DS naming scheme. The 3DS was really understandable.
Yeah, that made sense.
3DS,
we knew
2DS,
we got it.
3DS XL, 2DS XL, new 3DS, like, it's stupid, but it's understandable.
Yeah, we get it. My favorite comment about all that is like, oh, I can't wait for parents to mess up Christmas gifts this year. Like going into GameStop and being like, I want the new Xbox. Which one?
It's gonna be
Trying to
like
go
the
through
Wii
that
U all over
conversation.
again.
Oh, it's gonna be.
I really
What
do
are
not
they
understand.
thinking?
So yeah, $500 and $300 for the Xbox, and $500 and $400 for the PlayStation 5. I personally would get the disc version of the PlayStation 5 because yes, I get to save $100, but that's like what, 1.5 games now.
Right, but you
Because
can't have it
AAA
discs.
games are going to be $70. Fuck.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we wanted to pre-order for the house, but couldn't pre-order, so we're gonna have to wait. We'll see.
So yeah, some of the games are gonna be $70. Quite a few of them actually at launch will be $70. And if you're gonna go digital, that means Sony's gonna take all your money. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get like 2 games, and they're gonna make a bank after those 2 games. But yeah, the Xbox is coming out in. The PlayStation is coming out in November. I can't remember when the Xbox is coming out.
I don't know if it was announced.
It was, yeah.
December?
It was.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, I think somewhere around the same time. I'm sure.
Okay. I'm sure. I mean, Christmas.
Yeah. Is anybody gonna get? Like, I'm definitely gonna get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, we're getting a PlayStation 5 if we can. I don't foresee us looking into the Xbox, mainly because for us, it mainly just depends on the the exclusives, and I don't know if there's any good exclusives coming for Xbox. The only reason we ever got an Xbox was a 360 because Mass Effect was on there and Halo and had a lot of good exclusives, especially compared to the PS3 at the time. But I don't think that's really the case right now. So no, we're probably going to just do a PS5.
The case that the Xbox have is the Xbox Series S, which is the cheaper one, the $300 one, and you get you can also pay for like a $15 per month Game Pass, and you get just a bunch of games they can play.
Yes, I did hear about that, which is pretty cool. Which is really cool, actually.
What is $15 a year? Like 175, 180, and you just get to play like a lot of new games, a lot of old games, and it's a good deal, especially during this COVID times where people are really financially like they want entertainment, but they don't want to be spending $500 and $70 on a fucking new game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's super expensive.
But
unfortunately,
PlayStation pre-orders are like finished too.
I know.
And Sony fucked up their pre-orders because Sony just gotta fuck something up. So basically, what they did was they did a sign up to be invited to this exclusive pre-order thing. They want to make it like sounds exclusive and like VIP or whatever.
Yeah.
But this pre-order is directly with Sony and not from like a Walmart or whatever store. The stores had their pre-orders up before Sony, and
yes,
Sony took like a day or two to send out the emails like, "Hey, you got the invite. You can pre-order now."
Yep.
And like people have already pre-ordered from Walmart, so it's just they fucked that up too. That's interesting. It's confirmed that there's no backwards compatibility with PlayStation 1 to 3 because of course. That's really annoying. I just want to play my PlayStation 3 games on a machine that has a new controller because the PlayStation 3 controller ain't so good no more. But yeah, the Battle of the Giants. There's also rumors, or like, not rumors, like somebody had a source or something saying that Nintendo is going to come up with a new Switch.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like a more powerful Switch, I think.
They have been talking about that for a while. We just hadn't seen it, but maybe this will be when they do it. Because the lower end one ended up being true, but we haven't heard about the higher end one yet. So I'll be curious.
I'm not sure how that would work. I wonder if it's gonna be because like the new 3DS had 1 or 2 exclusive games that the old 3DS couldn't play, right?
Yeah, because it was things.
Xenoblade was one of them.
Xenoblades and Smash Brothers, I believe, because it needed the C stick.
Really?
Because that's what makes, because I'm pretty sure at least because the C stick was what was added to the new 3DS. It was like this.
And a faster CPU and stuff too.
And but if I recall correctly, that's why they could get Smash on there because you needed to have that to be able to play Smash effectively. Xenoblade Chronicles I think also was exclusive for that.
The Xenoblade one was specifically it needed more processing power.
Yeah. I got the new 3DS because I accidentally.
I really
want to
buy one because they discontinued the 3DS line already. It's official. So I really need to get one before I shoot up in price because Nintendo shit always shoots up in price. I have an old 3DS, but I want to get a new one because it's newer, faster CPU, and I get to play Xenoblade. So, which I guess I can choose to play on the Switch now. It's the same one, right?
Have it up there.
The first one.
So. I think so.
I think the only one that's not available to play on the Switch right now is the Wii U one, Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
I'm also waiting for my order of Super Mario 3D All Stars to come. It's one cartridge with Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. No Galaxy 2, which is really annoying.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Never played any of those.
Good time.
I played the 64 a little bit on the 3DS.
Sunshine.
I really want to play Sunshine. That was the one Mario game. Even back then when I saw when I was watching all those, I think it was X-Play or something. I was like, oh my god, that looks really cool, but I didn't have a GameCube? I didn't have a GameCube, so.
Yeah, GameCube, yeah. Yep, my fiance's super excited for 64. It's one of her favorites, and the old 64 is just not working anymore, so.
There's a DS version though, right?
There is.
There is.
Okay, yeah. It's I'm so sorry. You can play on the big screen. That's the main
That's
deal.
true.
Sure.
Can't do it with 3DS.
Just waiting for the order to come. They shipped it out just might come
It's a
today.
good bundle.
It is
So
a bundle.
$60. So they also, because Super Mario 35th anniversary. So what they did was announce a bunch of. So they announced like this multiplayer competitive Super Mario game that is free. It's not, you don't have to buy the game, but you just have to have a Nintendo Switch online subscription to play. So something like Tetris 99. So everybody plays like Super Mario Brothers, and you play your own game, but then you can send like enemies to other people's games and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
But you can only play until March 31st, 2021. I'm not sure
not very
why
long.
they did that. And also the Super Mario 3D All-Stars bundle, you can only buy until March 31st, 2021. And after that, I'm not sure if they're just going to stop selling it or sell it separately, each game. Nintendo, I guess this is their thing, I suppose. Whatever, man. So yeah, no more news. Quite a few things happened though, but no more news from me.
Yeah, I don't really have anything.
There are a bunch of new games that Hades has just came out early access. Hades is by Supergiant Games, the people who made Bastion and Transistor. Greek mythology roguelike is overwhelmingly positive. So, overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, even though they had a 1-year exclusive thing with Epic Games. Like, it's that good apparently.
Wow.
So yeah,
All right.
so gamers were like not pissed off because it was so good, and it just came out of early access, and it's gonna be 20% off for like a few more days. So get that if
I think my friend was kind of describing it as Rogue Legacy a little bit.
oh, interesting.
I don't know why.
Other things, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning recently came out. That's a remaster of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. So I like the naming scheme of this THQ like remasters. What was it? Mars Guerrilla Warfare Remastered because it's on Mars.
Right.
But Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, the reviews are pretty much like it has some quality of life changes, but not much. It's gonna have new DLC coming out next year, but like visually and stuff, it doesn't look that much different. So that sucks. I was really hoping of playing it again because it was a really fun like just as an action game. People who have the original will have 60% off for a few more days, but I'm not gonna get it for now. The new Marvel's Avengers came out. It's mixed mostly.
Yes.
A lot of people like the single player campaign because it stars Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel.
Yep, the new Miss Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of grindy elements and stuff after like the end game or something.
Yeah.
I'm not
I know one
really
guy
interested in
that's
it.
super into it, but I've heard pretty mixed about it overall.
Crusader Kings 3 is out, so you get to use your daughters and stuff as yeah.
I'm sure my ex
Currency.
is super excited. My ex loved those games.
Did he play? Did she play? X. Sorry. Yeah. Did he play Massive Chalice?
Did he play Massive Chalice? I don't
That's
remember.
the only kind of like Offspring-based game I've played. That's why I ask.
I don't know if he played that. He did play Crusader Kings a lot, and he really was into Civilization. Although he preferred Crusader
I guess
Kings.
a little more building, empire
Yeah.
building. So
Yeah, he was a little bit more RTS heavy. Yeah, empire building kind of stuff. I think he used to play like what's that Empires game I can't think of. But anyway,
not
yeah.
Age of Empires.
Age of Empires. Yeah, I think he used to
Okay.
kind of do that. But was always more of like a kind of a numbers kind of guy. Never got into EVE Online, but could have kind of thing. So not super like gameplay heavy, I would say. He likes clicker games too. Those kinds of things. But yeah, Massive Chalice, I don't think so.
A new survival multiplayer game came out called Craftopia. It's Japanese made. Visuals are like very similar to Breath of the Wild, and
cool.
yeah, it looks really pretty. It looks pretty good. Like positive reviews, and The funny thing is, what I'm seeing in the screenshots and the videos is like it has that fantasy medieval-ish feel, but then there's a motorcycle. So like it's just very interesting mix.
Why not?
Why not? So it has farming, building, survival aspects. I'm not sure if it's like, oh, you can also build like a automated system to put cows into soups, I guess.
I'm sorry, did you say cows?
Yeah,
into
whole
soups?
cows into giant vats of soups.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. Looks really
Why
pretty.
cows?
100%
I don't
cow.
because
That's
cows.
30% more cow than our competitor.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not. You know what? That's not the weirdest thing I've heard today.
I like seeing the tank of those hoverboards. This person's fighting like 10 skeletons.
If
Like,
you're
this looks weird.
looking for a harsher survival game, a new one just came out called Medieval Dynasty.
Oh, there's the cow soup conveyor belt.
Yeah, you see it, right? It's pretty funny.
This is like Breath of the Wild crossed with, I don't know, something worse.
So yeah, that's mostly it from me. Guys, have anything to add? Or can we wrap up?
No, I think we can.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything
Do
to
the
add.
thing.
Next episode, I'll probably be deep into World of Warcraft again because the new expansion comes out in between
Alrighty.
now and then.
And I'm proud of ourselves. None of us paid $30 for Mulan. Very proud of ourselves. We're good.
I didn't pay money for it. I did see it.
Oh, did you? Did you like
My friend pirated it and I
pirate?
watched it.
I've heard it was really bad. Was it bad?
It was real bad.
Okay, I heard it was horrible, so I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's really funny because so like the main thing is you see Mulan as a child and she like almost falls off a roof, but she does like this weird little flip and doesn't die. And it's like, oh, Mulan, you have great chi. Like people with chi like yours, you must hide them. So the whole
Is it in
plot
English?
Mulan is better than
Yes.
is in English,
Oh.
yeah. The plot is Mulan is better than people because she has a lot of chi.
Cool.
She's just super powered. She has superpowers. Go ahead. Yeah. Question in the back.
That wasn't. No.
Because greatness comes from your birth.
I'm actually okay with paying
And the
like.
important part.
Did you have to have a Disney Plus subscription and pay the $30 on top?
Yes.
You would, yes.
That's annoying.
Yes,
If it's
that's
just the
why-
$30, then it's.
That's why. Yeah, that's why there was a huge
Insane.
like rebuttal. Be like, if you're gonna watch it, pirate it, because the problem is we do not want to support Disney doing this. We do not want because if it was like you don't want to get Disney Plus but you pay $30 to watch it, yeah, whatever. No, it was on top of that. We don't want that system.
Also, I don't even know that I'm against paying more with a subscription if it's less. I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for one movie.
Yeah, $30 is a lot of money.
And
if I was
that
told,
wasn't even a purchase price, was it? That's just like a 24-hour viewing window.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know
just
how
a
it works.
renting
Yeah.
price. Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
renting
it's
price.
nuts.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Yeah. So important to note is chi, CHI, is one letter different from CGI, and that's how you know when chi's being used, because it uses all the CGI budget in the whole movie whenever her chi shows itself.
I heard it was god awful, so I'm happy to miss it.
The reason why I'm not gonna watch it is because the actress publicly came
Hong
out
Kong.
against the Hong
Yes.
Kong protest. I'm like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your
Yeah.
fuck the entire fucking horse you rode on.
If it hadn't showed up on my friend's pirate server and I hadn't been bored, I wouldn't have watched it. I wouldn't have asked him to pirate it. I wouldn't have spent the time. It just happened to be in this sweet spot where it's like it's the newest thing downloaded,
Yeah.
and I want to watch a thing, so I'll watch it.
Let's
And,
just try it
I
out.
regret that decision. I should have watched something else.
Yeah.
Probably should have watched
I heard it was-
Velocipaster twice.
Yeah, I should have watched like Aladdin or some other Disney movie I haven't seen.
Yeah. The live action Aladdin's pretty good actually. If you haven't seen it, I quite liked it. But yeah, very very glad it's bad. I know that sounds weird,
I'm
but
actually
like
glad
I
it's
like
bad,
it that there's this horrible, actress says something
One of-
horrible and also is bad.
One of my Facebook friends did an interesting post where they're like, I was boycotting Mulan because of the whole
Hong Kong thing.
political views,
Yeah, the
Hong Kong
thing.
thing. But then I thought, like, maybe I should support a movie with an Asian female actress. And, like, I guess that's a tough choice. but not that tough. I feel like
One side, the government is killing a bunch of people.
Female actors, yeah, like
which
the
includes a
number
bunch of females.
You get to protest human rights isn't as many times as you get to support females and Asian actresses. Like The Boys, oh my god, The Boys season 2. The Asian female actress in that, she doesn't have many lines in season 1. She is crushing it in season 2.
Ooh.
Again, no lines because her character is mute, but like her acting so freaking good. Like she's like it's a very emotional arc for her in season 2.
Nice.
It's cool to juxtapose those two things.
Yes, for sure. Well, I just wanted to make sure. I heard it was super awful. I am.
Should I support a
gonna watch
female
the animated
actress,
version.
or should I care about a government that's oppressing human rights, which includes a bunch of females?
Support
I
the
wonder.
female actress who's also a humanist.
Yeah, we don't need
not a boot sucker.
the women don't need the support that bad.
She got the money already.
We'll live.
Like
She did. I mean, she did get the money.
she already got the
let's be
Disney
real,
role.
like,
She's gonna get more roles. Like she don't need no support, man.
No.
Oh, weirdly, Jet Li's in the film, and I don't know if this is racist of me. For the whole movie, I thought it was Tony Jaa. Or not Tony Jaa. Who's the guy from Rogue One? The blind monk.
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen. I thought it was Donnie Yen with like some makeup on him. Like I didn't realize they looked this. It was actually Jet Li.
Actually, you don't know this, but when Asian people age, we just merge into like one face.
There's two kinds of old Asian people.
One.
You're either a Jet Li or you're like a I don't know, Mako or like a who's Jackie Chan's friend?
Who's Jackie Chan's friend?
Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung. His one friend. Yeah. Sammo Hung's who I was thinking of.
The fat one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sammo Hung is the fat one.
He's cool though. I
Yeah,
like him a
he's
lot.
really good. Self-taught, if I'm not mistaken. Self-taught martial artist.
That's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I think he got some training
Well-
after,
I don't
but
Jackie
like
Chan anymore. Right, we can't like Jackie Chan for the same reason we can't like Mulan, because obviously he's a Hong Kong boot sucker.
oh, you don't know about Jackie Chan's political views?
I actually didn't know, but I don't really pay much attention to him these days.
Jackie Chan's pretty much pro-China.
Oh, okay. Gotcha,
And he's not really that
Last-
good. Politically, he's like that, but personally also he has like fathered like busted children or something.
Oh,
He
okay.
has a lot of recreational sex.
Yes.
Well,
and
yeah.
I think he doesn't like doesn't recognize them as his kids or something. Like he's not a nice person.
Oh, okay.
I
Which
don't even think he really like respects like his like legit kids. Like
oh
I
yeah,
know,
he has like a son
like-
that's also in
like,
movies.
Yeah, because I know he's like, I'm not going to give my son any money when I die because I want him to earn it all, which is fine. But like also here he's also just outside of that, just kind of like a dick to his son. Like he's not like a great dad, which is too bad because he's kind of like a Tom Hanks-ish kind of
Yeah.
persona
On yeah,
movies.
that's
He's
true.
For sure.
Generally likable.
Tom Hanks, another crazy guy.
What did he
he?
do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Tom Cruise. Please excuse me.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Tom Cruise.
So Tom Hanks is not in Scientology.
No,
No. Okay.
I'm thinking of Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That
Sorry.
makes more sense. I thought you were gonna say. I think the craziest person I think of is Gary Busey. And that's
Should
what
I put
thought you
that
were gonna
as the
say.
title of
I'm
this?
confused Tom Hanks and Gary Busey.
Should I
I'm
put this
sorry.
as the title of this podcast? Tom Hanks, another crazy guy.
There are two kinds of white people: the Tom Cruises and the Tom Hanks.
No, it's the Toms and the Chris's. There's only two white guys in the world. Toms and Chris's. Ugh.
And Chads. Geeks and cats. Okay, let's
Let's wrap,
Let's wrap
up.
up.
All right. Hey, guys. This is Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I'm mostly on Twitter these days. You can catch me on my other show, RNG and T. Check us out on Twitch, or we're also got our podcasts on wherever you watch your podcasts. And so, yeah, say hi.
And I'm Foehamner. I'm on YouTube. Currently, it's just me reading books, basically narrating text, which is it's not your cup of tea. It'll hopefully be done soon, and I'll maybe return to Outer Wilds and be completely lost. So, yeah, YouTube, check it out.
And I'm Pupunoob, and be you know where. This has been episode 176 of the playonultra podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.